Sometimes the only way to learn something is just more experience, more reps in the gym. Figure that. So hopefully you guys tuning into these videos every day helps speed up that learning curve and you guys can see quicker results than I ever did and learn from these lessons. But sometimes I also want to go over the power of markups. I speak about it all the time. It's very boring, but truly doing these report cards every day on TradeZella, it's a necessity. That's why we give every member in the Blackshirt Club a free year of it, because we need to be tracking these patterns day in and day out to even understand the strategy. But even on these some odd days, you'll recognize something you just saw a week prior and how you traded it, and you'll be able to replicate it again. But let's take a look at the first lesson of the day. As always, the good old opening range. Now, if you've seen Futures 2.0, which is over here on AceFX TV, it's the full VWAP strategy that I teach. You guys can get full access to it if you use code FIRST. And you also get access to the live streams where we take these trades live. A spoiler on that one, it's a small one. I'll tell you guys, don't chase the first break of open range low. It often doesn't run. It just induces amateurs to chase the breakout. It sweeps the highs, stops them all out, and then it's ready to go the second time, right? So they're right on wanting to sell it, but they got too eager, not knowing that it's probably not the best time to want to sell it. They were right on it being the good price, but the timing is just a little bit early. Another reason, even on this day, the opening range was very, very tight. So you see a quick double break, right? This is on a 1-minute chart. But if you also look at Edgefill, the chances of us wanting to double break an opening range of this size is 67%, right? So we can go over here and look at the opening range breakout on ES. You can see by the size of this range we had, 56%. But this range was even tighter. It was 0.14%. So on ranges of that size, they double break 65% of the time. So the fact that we took out the bottom here, there's a 65% chance it also wants to break the top. So I don't know if this is ready to just free fall from here because it probably wants to come up before moving back down. So even more reason not to chase that first break and take the second break. So that's the biggest lesson of them all. We speak about it on AceFX TV. But the other one is the trades. Only experience can tell you, touching the stove too many times, this is just a bad trade. There's a lot of luck involved and very little skill, right? I'd say it's almost all luck of I did make money on this because I trailed my stop very aggressively. I got 2 minutes of rise and I said, thank you very much. I don't know why I'm long. Let's trail that stop very tightly. But you could see actually, the next one, I just longed it here, right? Longed it there, got out there. It moves one more new low a day. And if I play the same idea of trying to long it at the bottom once I just see a bullish bar, if I did that down here, that's the one that moves a little bit better. More of what I was looking for, right? A better continuation before just sellers stepped right back in. But how did I know it was going to happen 20 minutes later when I thought it was going to happen there? I didn't. I didn't even know it was going to pop when I bought it there. I'm almost just hoping it does and wanting it to, because it's just so low. It's not even that it's so low. There hasn't been a single sniff of a pullback. Nothing at all. So something in me just wants to buy the bottom. But it's very tough to do. That we're just better off selling it, right? I don't have it marked up here, but the better play would have been to put on a low a day VWAP, see the pullback come in. When sellers take it back, just sell it again because it's all sellers. Maybe the fact that we were around those previous days in Europe VWAP also helped me out of wanting to long it, but still. Not a smart trade. But from doing these markups, although I made money doing it, this was literally just the Friday prior. The 29th, we just went over September 5th. So this was the last Friday of same thing, another big sell-off. And you'll see with all this momentum, that first break of opening range did run. So maybe I should trade it. But no, only on these strong volatility days will you get those runs. And it is what it is. But same thing, I caught myself wanting to buy it there. And I would have actually timed it all right? Scaled up a little bit. But look how small and slow that move is. I don't know where that pullback wants to end, right? It's pretty much the equivalent of my long of at any moment. This thing could have just sucked lower. Why am I in a long here? I'd much rather be short. So thankfully, I just woke up and said, my experience would tell me I want to buy it, but that's not the smart play. It's just to listen to all these sellers. Don't say, this can't go lower. There's no way it keeps going lower. It's too low and too fast. Don't ever speak like that. Of course it could. It's telling you it probably wants to, so just sell it again. And we're able to make money to the downside. This was just same thing the week prior. Another move down, and there's another first break open range low. No one's going to start listening to me because I just showed you 2 examples of the first break running. So let's try trading that for a week though and see how that goes. Another strong push. I wanted to buy the bottom, and I'm sure you guys did too, just because it's more fun that way. But are we here to make money or here to have fun? Because if we get the pullback, sellers step in, let me just sell it again. And this day particularly, I'm glad I had that experience in the past, because that was on this day when I went 4 for 4, making $2,800, because I just kept on listening to my instinct of saying, why do you want to buy it? It's so much tougher to time than it would be just to say, you know what, I'm going to sell it, close my eyes, and it probably moves lower. Yeah, you're probably right. I could have sold it anywhere in here and just kept printing money. But something in me wanted to make it more difficult and say, but no, what if now's the time it pulls back? What if I buy it now? And again, you'll see it on this day. It'll sometimes work. But how hard is it, or how many punches in the face do you have to do to buy it down here and win? But if you got that price, that's very, very lucky and very fortunate, right? To have only taken that trade. That if you took this trade, you most likely also longed it here, also longed it there, also longed it there, right? That you're probably already in the hole. That this does win, but I doubt you're green on the day. Maybe you are, but I just doubt that that's your first trade of the day. But you never know, right? Because then if it is, that's very fortunate to have timed the bottom perfectly after it just was selling off, because it's very tough to do. Same thing on that Wednesday, going to go against myself. I did get rewarded for it. I longed it, but I shorted it twice, playing with profits on a different account. This one on a not top one futures one, so that's why I didn't care too much. But same thing of like, I smartened up and just sold it. Smartened up and just sold it. Where if I had bought those, I lose and I lose. And yeah, I eventually won, but that probably would have just made some of the profits back. But thankfully I had won already, following the trend, not making things more difficult, and I'm able to make money on top of an already good day, right? But if we're constantly trying to call the bottoms, you'll quickly just get a little bit of hope that it looks good, right? I mean, look at my trade, for example. I was like, oh, wow, I did it. I called the bottom. Here we go. Right back down. It's like, yeah, I'm not surprised. This thing's got a bunch of sellers. What are we doing? And like I said, it's just fortunate that the next one went higher. So rather than trying to call the bottom, let's just ride VWAP, ride the trend. If we don't see a pullback that we like to sell it, like this one, because this one actually is very, very good, right? I don't have to sell it at a bad price, just chase momentum. I actually can wait for a pullback and sell it again. Then that's the ideal day. But on this Friday, this most recent one, there's nothing in here for me to do that fits the strategy, right? I could just sell it. I could say, you know what, I want to be involved with 3 micros, put me in there. But that wouldn't technically be my plan. Not that it would make it a bad trade, just wouldn't technically be a setup. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully you guys don't fight VWAP. Hopefully you don't get the urge. And if you do, just like we all get urges to do a whole bunch of stuff. The idea is to let it not affect you, not act on those impulses, right? A lot of the time in the Black Street Club, we're not trying to always immediately eliminate these emotional thoughts. Obviously, we'd love to. But the most important thing is, okay, I thought about buying it here, but I didn't. That's a huge win, right? We're not saying don't ever think about buying the bottom. You could think about it. We're all going to. Just don't do it. We're all going to think about, oh, I might want to put on 4 minis here. But do you do it or not? Because if you act on those thoughts, that's the problem. If you have the restraint to say, you know, that's not the smart play, let me not do that, that's a huge win. So it's all about just recognizing, hey, what do I do well? What normally hurts me? What's the smartest play here, right? And thankfully on that one day, I smartened up and just sold it. And okay, oof. And then, yes, I called the bottom later on. But it is what it is. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you guys check out the full strategy so you also don't get induced into these opening range breakouts. Like I said, the full strategy is free. Just use code FIRST, FIRST. You get the full streams. You get the 2 courses. There's a 3rd one on the way and an update to mine coming. And if you join the streams later, you want to go back and see the trades we took, all the recordings are there. So the boys are always crushing it. We have plenty of guests on, so make sure you check the link down below for that. But other than that, check out the top 1 sale. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys on the charts tomorrow morning.